Hey guys, today I have something really exciting to show you guys. I have recreated the Nether Reactor as a data pack in Minecraft Java Edition. So for those of you that don't remember or never heard of it, the Nether Reactor was an exclusive feature to Minecraft Pocket Edition from version 0.5 to 0.11. And basically it was a way, since those versions didn't have the Nether, it was a way to get some of those Nether items, like a replacement for that. It got removed in 0.12 when they added the Nether for realsies. But I decided to, live the old days and bring it back. So I tried to recreate it in a way as that felt as vanilla as possible without replacing any existing blocks or items. So it's a little bit jank, but I think I did a pretty good job of making it feel vanilla. And I've also made a couple tweaks in terms of its behavior, but otherwise I try to make it as exact as possible to the original Nether Reactor. So it should be a pretty faithful recreation. But starting off, crafting it, we get ourselves a crafting table, get ourselves some iron, 6 iron, and some diamonds. 3 diamonds. These are the same. It's the same recipe that you used to use when you were crafting it in Minecraft Pocket Edition. But unfortunately, Datapack crafting recipes don't let you create custom items from the recipe, so I wasn't able to implement that in a super vanilla way. But the best I came up with was just tossing these onto a crafting table. So you still need the crafting table, but now we have the Nether Reactor core. And this core is the core component to the Nether Reactor structure itself. So to build the structure, you get a cobblestone and some gold blocks. You pick a spot that you don't mind being destroyed, and you start placing 4 gold blocks in sort of this spacing right here, with a plus if cobblestone in between. Then, I mean, you could build this in any order, but this is the way I've always built it. You put 4 cobblestone on each of the gold blocks. You put your core in the center, right there. And you place a block on top. You'll notice when I clicked, I got not the correct pattern, because right-clicking is what tries to activate it, but no matter, you can just shift-click on it. See, it's like it's a custom block, but I try to make it feel like as close to a real block as possible. So I think I've got that working quite well. And yeah, lastly on the top, it's just another plus of cobblestone. And here we have the Nether Reactor itself. And all we need to do now to activate it is just right click. And you see it says active at the bottom. We got the new boss bar at the top. That didn't happen before. That's a tweak that I thought would be cool to add. So we see we're in this netherrack room. We have this red obsidian. It's called glowing obsidian. It's quite nice. Don't mind the purple particles though. And we have a bunch of pigment over here. We see a bunch of drops happening. Some quartz, pumpkin seeds, mushrooms, sugar cane. The regular seeds here didn't drop from the core itself. It's from the tall grass that got broken when this room spawned in. You see the core in here. It's like red and active. Oh, so yeah, the core just powered down because we ran out of time, and now the walls have decayed around us, and we can walk out and we notice, hey, wasn't it daytime before? Well, now it's, yeah, the reactor itself made it night. And you can see it summoned this really big structure known as the Nether Spire. And it's pretty cool. It's got some like rooms inside of it that you can explore. It's not like a very fancy looking structure. I mean, it is made out of netherrack after all, but it's really cool just to sort of see. I guess it's kind of hard to see right now. Well, I should give myself night vision. There we go. So as you can see, there's like a inner room in here. If you used to make these, I'm pretty confident that you probably made a house out of this at some point. It's a really nice building to do so. As you can see, we have the powered down Nether Reactor here. If you actually break the obsidian here, you can actually see your core is still there. It's just inactive. And if I were to hop into survival real quick, get myself a pickaxe, I can actually mine it back. And see, now I have 2 of these, so I was able to pick it up. And so that's pretty cool. I will do another one of these in survival itself. Huh. Wow, he almost sniped me. I'll do another one of these in survival so you can kind of see how that gameplay works. And I'll also try to go over a couple of the other differences to... Whoa. Sorry about that. But I'll go into some of the other differences that I made that are kind of interesting. So, I guess actually I show off one of these right now. Actually, I decided to make it so that you don't have to use cobblestone to create the structure. You can also use blackstone, because that feels like a very 1.16y feature that like blackstone can be used in place of cobblestone. So I decided to make that a new feature. You can create, and that actually allows you then to build this core out of only materials that you can find in the Nether too. The diamonds are probably going to be a bit hard to come by, but they are obtainable in like fortress chests. So you can start a world only in the Nether and still get yourself a Nether Reactor core, which is I think pretty cool. And also, oh yeah, I'm just gonna give myself a sword and a shield to give myself like a fighting chance when I run this reactor again in survival mode this time. So if you're fast enough, you can actually get these gold blocks back. Well, I didn't react in time. I only got 1, but you don't actually have to waste your gold if you're quick enough. And you can see the piglins, the zombie piglins here, are already aggressive to me. I didn't even hit them yet. And that's... Whoops. Oh no. Yeah, I'm glad I gave myself this shield. There we go. Did any other spawn? Nope, I got lucky. Okay. So there you go, that's the Nether Reactor. To keep in mind, I took a lot of damage because I didn't have any armor on, but yeah, when the Nether Reactor was in Pocket Edition, zombie pigmen were automatically hostile to you. And so in order to recreate that here in Java Edition, I made it so that any piglins that are within the room while the core is active will become hostile towards the nearest player. So that's how they got aggressive to me there. But as you can see, I got a bunch of items, and we can break through this obsidian here, and we'll see that the core is in there that we can get back. I don't want to do that. Let's do this in creative. There it is. And so that's really cool. A couple of the other differences that I made when creating this is I removed the restriction that when you build it, or to activate it, you have to be standing at the same level. So normally, say like you have your core here, just kind of pretend. Normally, you'd have to be standing like level with the core here, like your face level with it in order to activate it. But here I made it so you could theoretically like, activate it like this. Like I thought it was just kind of not really a useful thing. That I didn't really see the reasoning in creating this, other than like I guess you be down here. Even if you're down here though, like you're not. Here's where you're gonna get suffocated. You can't really click it, so I don't really see the problem. Hey there, this is me just after finishing recording the video, and I realized there's another thing I kind of wanted to mention. So if you break the core during the reaction itself stops. But something that you can do, or something that would happen in the earlier versions of the game if you did that, you'll see that the boss bar disappears, so the reaction stopped. See, it's nighttime, right? Because the core made it nighttime. Let's actually go to sleep. because we don't want it to be nighttime anymore. You see, it's daytime, but what's the sun doing? Yep. So basically, it's actually infinite night. Um, this was a bug that used to happen in the earlier versions of the Minecraft Pocket Edition. I think it got fixed towards the end. Like if you break the core, it stopped the infinite night. But I kind of liked that feature or bug really as a feature, so I decided to implement it here because I think this is a cooler implementation. It's like, hey, don't break the core in the middle of the reaction. Like that's a bad idea. So you can fix this by running another reaction, um, because the infinite night triggers when you start the core, but it ends when the reaction finishes. So doing another nether reactor will solve the infinite night, but otherwise you can sleep as many times as you want, and you'll just you'll have like 10 seconds of daytime maybe. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's about 7 seconds maybe of daytime before the night hits again. So yeah, carry on with the rest of the video. Another thing I changed, I did implement it so that you have to build it within the right Y level. I think it's like Y level 8 is the lowest you can have the core at. Um, but the Y level vertical limit used to be like so that the spire would be within the 128 block height limit of Pocket Edition. Since we have bigger worlds here, I decided to extend that so that it's just the same amount below the top of the world, but for the 256 height limit. So I think that's like no, Y222. I think you can place the core and still activate it. So there's just some changes that I made. Um, Also some other smaller things like the messages like active or not correct pattern, they appear on the action bar instead of like in chat, but it's pretty minor. And I think that covers it in terms of like differences. Like everything else should be as accurate as possible to the original Nether Reactor in Minecraft Pocket Edition. I still have it's funny, like the way I did this is I still have a phone that hasn't updated since, or hasn't updated Minecraft since 0.11. So I have that version of Minecraft still running, and I have Block Launcher installed on it, so I can do some pretty simple like modding scripts. And I was able to gather a bunch of data in terms of like the spawns. I'm pretty confident that the actual spawn drops, I have the exact loot table basically that was used for the spawn drops. Um, and I did some analysis of like what ranges they can spawn in. The things that might not be as accurate as like the piglin spawn, but I think it's close enough. And it doesn't replace any blocks. You might have noticed like when I'm placing, you see diamond ore for a second. Diamond ore is still in the game. It's right here. It's just a custom resource pack um, that's sort of I'm using a item on with custom model data that overlays over the block. I also want to show you the crying obsidian that you see in or not the glowing obsidian that you see when you create the structure. You can actually mine that and pick it up. You might not. You'll be in the middle of the reactor, so it might be a little hard to do that. Maybe block yourself in and then try to mine it while you can. But you can actually pick up the glowing obsidian and place it somewhere else if you want, as a nice decorative block. But yeah, that's all I had to show you here. There'll be a link to download the Nether Reactor in the description, both the data pack and the resource pack. I'm not sure if they'll be bundled as one download or separate links, but the links to those will be in the description. And just add those data packs in, and you have Nether Reactor in survival. um, that's about it. Thanks for watching, and this has been DVDo signing out.